Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Excellent job.
Whatever. One take in this bitch right now.
Whatever.
Welcome to Echo Underground. I am Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, and
the occasional fuckery. Because this episode might just be that. It might just be that.
Hey, look. You picked Happy Time Murders, so I could pick this damn movie.
That's fine. Hey, listen. We're going to get into it. Y'all about to find out.
Anyway, hit us up on Twitter, Echo U Podcast. Share our videos, all that good shit, and let us know what you guys think.
All I got to say is, if this is your first podcast listening to us, guys, I don't know how good of a first impression we're about to make on you.
No, you're about to make a great impression. Don't listen to him. Come back again.
All right, that's fine.
So, today's episode is about the new movie, Assassination Nation. I paused
Dramatic
for a fact.
pause.
So, summary. Someone hacks a lot of people's shit. People freak out, and then they become murderers. End scene. So,
she's not wrong.
So, God, this movie's crazy. So, I'm going to give this movie, I'm going to give it a B+. And here's why I'm going to give it a B+. 1, I was entertained. 2, I cared what happened to the main characters. 3, there were some twists I did not see coming. Even though I did guess the main one.
A couple seconds before they revealed it.
I know, but most of the time I didn't even see some of the twists happening. I was still shocked by it. It had a good shock factor. I got the message, and I liked the satire aspect of the movie. I thought it was really good. And now, spoiler alert, because, you know, Michael always gives out spoilers in his reviews. So
This is part of the podcast anyway. It would have happened.
Spoiler. Let's go. What do you think of the movie?
I'm going to give this movie a B. Flat B. One thing I do enjoy about this movie, it didn't take itself super seriously. It was talking about a real problem. Because, you know, technology is evolving way faster than we can actually understand it. And this movie definitely addresses it being abused by young people. Now, ignorant-ass young people. Some ignorant-ass adults. Some actually very, very ignorant-ass adults. But it shows, like, an actual process. Like, something very real. Because you hear about this at least a couple times a year. Probably happened to you. Probably happened to somebody you know. Like, you know, your phone get hacked. Your social media get hacked. And everybody just sees, like, your private business or whatever. So it pretty much goes into that whole, like, you know, how much privacy do you really have kind of conversation. But they take a really interesting, like, way about it. Like, they kind of make the four main... Should I say main? Yeah, the four, like, main characters of the story have, like, different perspectives on it. Some, you know, much less than others. But I feel like it's an interesting take on it. Especially in high school where, like, this shit matters a lot. Cause like they show what it does to like your reputation, to your family, to all this other stuff, and they even show what happens to adults when that shit happens to them. So, a lot of perspectives on what can happen to you if you get your shit hacked. And by the way, just try not to have anything that can get hacked. Just public, just my friendly PSA here.
All right, so let's get into this movie. This movie opens up, and Michael was like getting his food and stuff, but it basically opens up with like trigger warnings. It starts off, you see the title, and it says, hey, we're going to have a whole bunch of fuckery in this. So if you get triggered, it's your fault for saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the main characters. We're introduced, and there's a narrator, and her name is Lily. And she's basically like the protagonist, but her friends are like, Bex. Because she has 3 other friends. Bex,
Emily, yep.
And what was that girl's name? I kept forgetting it. Blonde hair.
I don't remember the fourth name. I know there's a 5th one. We can talk about that one later, though.
There's no 5th one. She's not a real 5th one. I know, but she's not a real 5th one.
She was there for a little bit, at least.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like...
Okay, the main 4, yeah.
Yeah,
right, okay.
And they were, like, always hanging out together. But, so we're introduced to them. We're at a party. We see them talking. It talks about, they're in M's house. Because she calls her mother Nance for some reason. What the fuck ever.
Maybe it's her stepmom. They don't really give too much detail in that little situation right there, but...
Who knows? Because
right.
there's no dad, so I'm just going to call her mom. It could be one of those progressive homes where like, hey, my mom would never.
Right.
But some parents do that. Oh, you can call me by my first name. No. She's like, I give you life. You can call me by my first name.
Some respect on my name.
But yeah, it opens up with Lily narrating. There's a scene where like Mark is like, which is her boyfriend at the time, aka it from chapter 1. He's putting his hand and trying to make her choke or something, and he's filming it and saying, "Oh, you look like a porn star, yada yada." And I'm like, and then she skips over because she's like, "That was really gross." And then we get to the scene where they're talking about, which I want to talk about is, so basically Lily's friends is teasing her about still being with Mark because he won't go down on her. And M has a quote that I think you will find very interesting. She says, "A guy in this day and age that doesn't go down on anyone is a sociopath." And I was like, is that serious?
Was that there for that?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
wow.
why.
I was like, I remember seeing that part. Okay.
That's why later in the movie, Bex brings it up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess I missed the foundation for that conversation. Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think about that quote?
Oh, what? You want me to my opinion on that quote? I'm not.
Yes.
Listen, this is.
He like, no.
Mm-mm.
No, I just think.
That's the rabbit hole that I got to go down when I'm not being recorded, okay? I am not going there.
Next
What's your opinion then? Since you wanna,
I'll find. I give mine. I wouldn't call someone a sociopath. I think everyone has a preference, and I think he was doing the typical guy thing where it's like, if you don't ask, I ain't gonna do it. And because she even later in the movie, they have a scene where he was like, "Oh, I would have talked to you," even though I think he's bullshitting. I think he would have told his friends. Especially some bullshit, yeah. But I think the preference. I wouldn't call him a sociopath. I think that's a little extreme. Like, when I first heard that, I was like, we going there? Okay. One thing I also want to say, this movie, the cinematography, brilliant. It amps up the scenes, even though they're not, like, action-packed. It amps up the scenes because, like, pumps you up ready for shit to happen. And it had, like, this thing where it, like, had 3 different things on the, like, the party, which I think is basically the next big scene. Where Bex also mentioned in the bedroom scene that, like, and Bex is also transgender, but they don't harp on the fact that she is. Like, it's mentioned and you can obviously tell, but it's not the biggest drive for her character. She's still treated like one of the girls by the guys at school. So I thought it was pretty progressive, even though
I couldn't tell. Oh, but then again, I could never tell. Listen, you already know. We watched on the Maury episode. You know,
I got some shit wrong. I was more right than he was, but it is hard to tell. But Bex is treated like every other girl. No one treats even the guys, you know, except for like hooking up with her because they're like, But she basically tells the girl she's been texting this guy named Diamond, who's on the football team. I think so, football team, because that seems to only be the team there. And she's like, "Oh, I've been flirting with him, yada yada," and they're teasing her about it. And then we go to the party. Now, what did you think of the party scene?
Party scene was weird. The one thing I caught about it from that, because that's actually where I came in.
Yeah.
Right there is where I'll say the cinematography was excellent. There's a lot of other good spots, but it does make a very good first impression since it's like so early in the movie. But I thought it was interesting. They're trying to do this whole like 3-panel thing where they show like 3 different parts of the party. One where Mark is arguing with the girl, with Lily. One where the black girl, she Emily?
She's Emily, yeah. She was dancing with the other girl.
Right, yeah.
And some random dude.
Right. She was talking like some random guy, some other part of the party. She didn't really have like a significant thing in the story outside of Nance. I don't really think anyway. I thought she was cool. She had like very quirky ideas about like making movies and stuff like that. I thought that was cool, but
some of them are a little bit extreme.
Yeah, some are a little bit extreme, but she didn't really like offer too much for the main story. But they showed like her part of the story of the party, and the main part was Bex and Diamond. Was his name Diamond?
Yep.
Okay.
He's Diamond.
Okay. I didn't know that actually until you just said it this a while ago. But yeah, I thought that was cool. The main highlight was what was going on between Bex and him, and I don't know. High school is still some weird parties. Because, I don't know.
There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of dancing. The music was hyped, though, for that scene. And it was very good. I want this soundtrack. That's another thing I'll give this movie on. Great soundtrack.
Yeah, I can't argue with that either.
And it was shot very beautifully. So good job, director. And editing team. So after that, we're gonna fast forward a bit. Let's get to our first scandal. So someone gets a random thing sent out, and we see this guy on his computer, and he's like, "Oh shit, Mayor Barley.
Bartley.
Yeah, and you open it, and he's like, he has a fetish where he like wears like women's clothes and sleeps with men and yada yada. And they were like, you know what, be fun? Send it to everyone in Salem. So they send out, the shit goes out, everyone freaks the fuck out, and the people at the party get the message. And this is when I was like, this movie went left. This is when the left turn started for me. I was like, okay. Now, I've watched Spring Breakers. If anyone has watched that movie goes left real quick. Starting when they were robbing the store in their bikinis. Yes, Michael's face is like, what?
I've never seen Spring Breakers, so I can't really have no opinion
Oh,
on that.
I'm gonna get him to watch it. I think he'll enjoy it, but he'll be like, what the fuck throughout the entire thing. I even seen the movie Kids, which is about a bunch of 13-year-olds who like have sex and one of them has HIV and shit from the 90s. It's like a really old classic movie. And this movie gives me a lot of vibes. So if you like those two movies, you're going to like this. Basically, this is when the movie was like, we were starting realistic and then we went, and basically Barley's information get out and leads to one of the most, that's the craziest scene to me, the conference with him. So, what did you think of Mayor Bartley's
I'm gonna
scandal?
Rerun the clock just for like 2 seconds, because I'm gonna say that when the whole thing about him actually got out, I will say that these these actors right here actually made me feel like I was looking at high schoolers. Cause this sounds like some shit you'd actually hear. Like, one, they just straight up did not give a shit. They're like, man, fuck this. And, Bex had her whole opinion on him because he's like, anti-LGBTQIAA. She had like a whole bunch of acronyms there that I'm.
And you actually said it right.
Muscle memory. I don't know.
Yeah, that was later in the movie, but yeah.
But yeah, like so that's the big thing with him. Like, he's really anti, gender.
He's anti-gay community.
Yeah, pretty much, and like it's a big shock. Like, oh wow, you're kind of a hypocrite because you're doing X, Y, and Z. So Bex is really outspoken about that, but in like a high schooler kind of way. It's like fuck that guy, and they made me feel like I was looking at high schoolers. Every one of these characters made me feel like I was looking at high schoolers, from the less outspoken one to the to the very up in your face, I don't give a shit kind of ones.
Yeah, Bex was like, see, all the homophobes are secretly gay. This proves it. And he was, I don't know what he was, but he was doing some extra shit. Why would you film this knowing that you had a wife and a kid? Like, what? Yeah. He was one of the stupid adults. I did feel bad for him, though, when he was walking to his office for that press conference.
Yeah, that part, it was also shot well because it's like minimal talking going on. Like, all it was like scene. You see like a whole bunch of panic around him. He is like poker faced out the ass. Like,
he looked like he was about to cry, though.
No, I mean, he was them thug theirs were being held back. I'll give him that much. But man, like,
he knew what he was about to do.
Listen, the scene really set itself up really damn good for him, because he pretty much got like 2 words out before the scene like came to a climax, and we were just like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, he blew his brains out in front of the entire town, basically the adults of the town, during the press conference. And the way they shot it was like the guts came at you, and I was just like, I had my mouth open. I was so shocked by that. I didn't expect him to blow his brains out. I expected someone to attack him or something, but he blew his...
hell either gave him a gun to walk around with or left it in the podium, because I got questions.
I feel like he had it on him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I was just like, the fuck? That's when I knew this movie took left, jumped over the cliff and said, fuck everything.
And did a backflip.
Yep. And I was, okay. And then Lily... Jesus, we're gonna get to the characters, but let's talk about the next scandal, which was Principal Terrell. Mm-hmm. Now, his scandal kind of like low key pissed me off because it wasn't a real scandal. Like, he found out he got hacked, right? And he was like, "What the hell do I have? I ain't got anything." They found pictures of him taking pictures of his 2-year-old daughter while she's like in a bathtub naked or something like that.
She was like around 6, actually.
No, the girl in the video said, oh, this is from a couple years ago. The daughter would be 2.
Okay, sure.
So, and everyone was like, oh my God, he's a pedophile, yada, yada. And I did like Lily when she said he's not a pedophile just because he took those pictures. Because guess what? To him, he's not sexualizing his daughter. You are. And I like that she pointed that out. Because I never got pedophile from him at all. Some of the men in this movie I did, but he was not. He was actually one of the good guys, and he got fucked really hard. You know, fuck the dude who did this.
Yeah.
Never mind. We'll get there.
Spoiler, guys.
We'll get there. But that's the only one I really felt bad who got their shit exposed. I was just like, well, you didn't even get your shit exposed. People made assumptions about you.
Well, it was also like his porn history as well, which don't get me wrong, right? Like, don't get me wrong. That's like, it's not, porn is not illegal. What you like is not illegal, so long as, like, the content is within the regular bounds. Fine. There's plenty of people, millions of people who watch the same thing he does. All he did is he had his made public. It's not illegal, and he did get criminalized for it. And one thing I'll give for Lily, I know we haven't talked about her too much. She's a very argumentative and also very intelligent girl. She kind of weirdly treads the line in between right and wrong, moral and immoral.
Yeah.
One of her decisions is definitely immoral, but whatever. She's 18, so I can't really jump into that argument. But I don't know. The fact that I saw her like defending Principal Terrell gave me some kind of insight into her that made me feel like, you're not just playing devil's advocate. You're actually like, you have like a set ideal, set standards, and all the stuff that you're really, playing to your strength with. You're not backing down from your opinions.
And I think she also defended him because he was the only one who was straight up with her.
Yeah.
The only adult man who was. Right. And he respected her. Mm-hmm. And encouraged her. And unfortunately, he got his life completely fucked over. One, the porn. To me, the only thing that made the porn thing wrong if it was kids in the porn.
Well, yeah, I mean, people were looking at they're exaggerating because it was like teenagers in the porn, air quotes, because a lot of porn titles had the word teen in it, and in some states, I suppose it's okay to be 18 and 19 and go ahead and make porn. So.
Or they have teen, and then there's old people who are dressing like teens.
Well, yeah, it's like that. But like I said, they're exaggerating it because of the whole thing with his daughters. So they're like, oh, he likes teen porn and taking pictures of his 2-year-old daughter. I'm like, I mean, you're probably still bathing your daughter, but I mean, I don't know why you're taking pictures, but
no,
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm in a weird gray area when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm on the fence when it comes to that kind of stuff. Should I say? Because I don't know. I feel like obviously they're not giving context in the movie for a good reason to show that people will blow it out of proportion, but that's also just something I personally just don't do. But hey, I'm more or less still on Principal Terrell's side. Like, hey, you just got your shit put out into the public air, and now you just look weird. That's it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because back to like the kid thing. I've seen plenty of pictures where like kids are like naked and all that stuff in tubs and stuff, and it's supposed to be cute. That's why they do it. Now, personally, would I do that? No. I just want you to get clean and go to bed. But I don't see a problem with that, to be honest. It's not like it was like...
He's not distributing or nothing like that.
Yeah, you hacked into his shit and put that online.
Right.
You did that. The porn thing, yeah. But after
it's
their mayor...
My thing is the porn isn't illegal. That's my thing. I'm not defending it like, yeah, everyone can watch whatever they want to watch, yada, yada, yada.
Some people like some weird shit.
Yeah, because, right, because I feel like someone's going to take it out of context and be like, yeah, watch whatever I want, then go to the dark web and find some weird shit.
Stay away from the dark web.
Right, for real, please do. Keep your computer safe. Friendly PSA here.
FBI be watching.
Right, and in this movie, they were a bit...
They were not really watching. Useless. They were like, hey, let's when this town went into a state of emergency the way it did... FBI should have been there, but they were like, fuck that. We're going to let them do whatever. But we'll get there, too. Yeah. We'll get there, too. That was shit looking like The Purge.
That shit definitely did look like The Purge.
So that was kind of weird. Then the next one was...
The girl.
It wasn't really Lily. It was... Oh, yeah. It was. So there was this popular bimbo chick, cheerleader. She got her shit hacked. Mm-hmm. And she actually had a scene where she was rambling on and like how people need to realize not privacy.
I hate the way she talks, by the way.
It was supposed to be like annoying.
Like she did the stereotypical like dumb bimbo like kind of speech vernacular, and I was like, shut it off. My ears, the blood is coming out. Squirting.
Yeah, but she was talking like this the whole time.
in the word part, I believe some people out there really sound like that. Like
People do.
I feel like people talk like that to like make fun of someone else. But I feel like someone out there like credit to the actor for pissing me off because that's a really good job. But like people out there really sound like that and like high school has changed.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I don't expect people to get their shit hacked, yada yada, accept their privacy, whatever." She didn't even care that she got her shit hacked, and also she got exposed because she sent around. What is with news in this fucking movie? Everyone was sending news in this damn town.
It's crazy too, because after the first one got sent around, y'all didn't realize delete everything. Like
no, they just kept doing it and being more stupid, and I was like, all right, we just don't give a fuck. Because maybe at first they thought it was only adults, because only adults got hit. Then when a kid got hit, they should have been like, oh, wait a minute. Right. Wait a minute.
Guys, code black, delete everything. Delete the files.
So the girl was basically sending around her best friend shit.
Right.
And so her best friend freaked the fuck out. And this is also one of my favorite montage scenes in the movie. Because there was a lot, but the music was on point. The way it looked, the way it was shot, the acting. Her best friend was like, okay, this bitch literally ruined my life. You supposed to be my best friend. I'm about to wild the fuck out. I got this bat. I don't know where it came from. I didn't see you have it. You just picked it up off the floor or pulled it out of your pants. I don't know where the fuck.
I feel like that must have been a metal bat because, listen,
she basically, okay, so they're shooting a scene, building up for it. Me and Michael know it's coming. We're like, she about to rock her shit.
She about to drop.
And she was like dancing. Her friend was dancing with the blue hair and shit.
Yeah, they were doing cheerleader. They're doing like cheerleader practice in the gym, and like she coming up from behind them in the scene. Like no one sees her walking like with a bat on her shoulder, ready to like go for a home run. Like
I know. And then the cheerleader was facing away from her. She walked in there and was like, boom. And you heard the click.
It was so subtle because like the camera movement, like it didn't like in action movies, it does like a quick shot of the action, then like pulls away or something like that. This one was like a constant shot, and it was so calm. It played out as if nothing happened.
Yeah, until the cheerleaders were like,
yeah. Ah! And like she did the most gangster thing. She just like dropped her bat and walked out. Like, well, my work here is done. Fuck it. Like that's really all I was here for.
I did love Lily's montage in the back because again, we find out later she's recording a video, but she's talking about you don't know what someone's gonna do when you piss them the fuck off. And this girl said, hey, I'm about to play bad a bitch with you right now in this gym. And then, she got arrested and everyone was clapping because I guess some people either hated her friend or was like, oh, you hit a bitch. One of those scenarios.
I feel like it's one of those world star things. Like when you win a fight, no matter what the context of the fight was, if you won, you get like, daps and high fives and applause and shit. My thing is, and I told Shanique this earlier, you're clapping for the girl who, like, she was the victim of some really bad thing that happened to her. But you're also clapping because a girl probably now has brain damage. Because, like I said, the way that sounded, it sounded like it was metal. And last time I checked, my bones don't beat metal.
Hey, look.
Simple rock, paper, scissors, man.
She said in the interview, she didn't die.
I mean, she didn't die, but she might be limping for a little bit.
She gonna be looking a totally different way.
Shanika's on team. You didn't die though.
Yep.
But did you die?
No. But did she die? No, she didn't. But that was like that whole scene right there was amazing. I love the lead up to that. Next was basically Lily used to be a babysitter, right? And she basically the father of the daughter that she used to babysit, he wasn't nice to her and asked her about questions that Mark and other boys wouldn't ask her. And basically, she, which is funny. It's crazy. Lily was doing all this stuff, but she only slept with one guy, Mark. So it was like, she made herself, she said in the movie that Mark was her first.
Well, it's like, what was the other movie? To All the Boys I Love. When like a picture of you gets out, that's like really revealing. Like even if you're just like kissing.
No,
a guy,
but I mean like Lily.
Hold on. It's just like it's just the context of why they like call her like the town slut or some shit. You're right. It was a little weird for them to call her that when she's only been with like one dude. But the moment somebody sees you like half naked or doing something scandalous, it's like you automatically got the slut title on you now because we seen what you got to offer.
Well, I was talking about the way she presents herself.
Well, I guess. Yeah,
like in those photos, right?
Yeah.
Like she presents herself like she's so experienced with all this other stuff, but she's actually not.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of interesting to see that. Sometimes I think some of it was a front. She was actually a very smart girl. She's probably a straight A student too.
Mm-hmm.
But she was doing all this other shit as well that probably really wasn't truly her. But it's high school, you know, you do shit to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
But flash forward back to the creepy guy. Basically, he was hitting on her and he grabbed her knee and she was like, "Nah, I can't work for you." But they were like sexting and shit. And the whole movie, you see like the text messages on screen, and she keeps calling him daddy. We don't find to the end of the movie who daddy is. And like I was telling her, I was like, who the fuck is daddy? So she's texting him, calling him daddy, and then she's fucking her boyfriend so he could see. And he didn't turn on by that, which is weird. From a personal
They're here calling Principal Terrell a pedophile. I mean, I think this dude right here, because I don't know how long this movie doesn't really. Well, at least I wasn't around for the part. I don't know how long that's been even going on.
I don't know when
in the movie, but I don't know if it was happening before she was 18. But
yeah,
either way, you're still looking at high schoolers through your window next door,
watching her like have sex
with your wife in the house, and your kid in the house.
And so basically, that his shit gets hacked, and that gets exposed, and she starts freaking the fuck out. Cause she's like, oh shit, all my scandalous photos. Cause
her face is not in it, right?
That was the only smart thing she did. She's like, never.
This is honestly where, like, don't get me wrong. From the text message from the beginning of the movie, I kind of knew that as smart as she was kind of a hypocrite for doing all of this shit in the dark. Cause it was like, I wanted to like you so bad, and now I realize you're kind of going back on your word about all this. I still like her though. Don't get me wrong. I like that. I like that aspect of her. But my thing is, you knew damn well she had sympathy for the people who got hacked pretty much.
Right.
And that shows like a good side of her. But at the end of the day, you realize that they were also like vulnerable because they had all of that shit. Now we also talked to the principal, where the principal was like, "Yeah, I get it, you are right, but that's an argument for when you're not in fucking high school. Right now, follow the fucking rules." And like she kept going on with her actions with Daddy, which is the biggest hypocritical thing she did for me in the movie anyway. Because I'm like, yo, come on, dog, you're so smart, yet you're the one taking pictures too. Like you see all the shit happening all around you.
But is that being a hypocrite technically? Because she's never said it was wrong, so she can't be a hypocrite.
Well, yeah, but you're being a hypocrite because like she also understands this whole issue with privacy pretty much. She sees it happen about maybe 3 times. 2 adults and one of her classmates before it happens to her. And she had not gotten the clue yet. And like she was also talking about the whole thing about privacy. Like she's saying, when she's talking with Bex, she was like, Bex had like no fucking forgiveness. She's like, fuck whoever got caught, don't hide this shit in the dark. Expose yourself in the light.
Well, she only thought of that for Bartley. She didn't care about the other ones.
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, it still counts regardless. Like the one guy was there, it happened to him. Why continue after the fact? That's my thing. Because now you realize, obviously security is being compromised. You know what the repercussions of this is going to be.
She sounds like dumb more than hypocritical to me.
I feel like right now they're synonymous for me at least. It's my opinion, guys. Let us know how you feel, but that's just how I feel for real.
Yeah, I would say that Lily was very dumb and very naive. Because she didn't even get hacked, but... Because
it was indirect for her, right?
Yeah, it was very indirect, and his wife freaked out. Everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this whore?" Mm-hmm. Yada yada yada. You saw all this stuff, and basically, he basically says, "Hey, my wife left. Yada yada. She's still texting this guy. She's freaking the fuck out." Now, there was a scene while the bat shit was happening where her boyfriend was like, "Meet me in 5." I was like, "Don't go there." I was like, "Don't go there." Because if he's really the only guy you slept with, he probably knows what your body look like or the jewelry look like. Right. Like, no, don't go there. She had a birthmark. He recognized that shit instantly. And this, to me, was a little fucked up.
Yeah. This is where one of the trigger warnings probably come into. Like, don't get me wrong. There's several trigger warnings in this movie. I mean, triggers, should I say, in this movie? But this is definitely one of them.
I think the triggers were homophobia with that fucking jock dude. Mm-hmm. There was a flash.
Well, I'm talking about more about like the scenes itself, like some visual on the scene that like just make you be like, whoa, I can't handle this.
No,
right
when
now.
they were like telling the triggers, they put the scenes that was gonna trigger it.
Okay.
You just weren't in
Okay,
the
that was
theater.
Alfred, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, and then the abuse, it was like really quick, but I think it was this scene. There was a lot of abuse in this movie, so maybe.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of violence as well.
Lots.
So anyway, the scene, Mark kind of flips out, and he's like, let's see. And he has his friends, which here's where I'm getting annoyed with this teenagers in this town. Definitely the Roy Rage jock dude, he was getting on my nerves. Shout out to Mike Montgomery. He was getting on my nerves with his issue, which we'll get on his thing later, but Mark had his friends hold this girl down and lift the back of her shirt just to verify the birthmark. Then he had her like get her face in there. I'm like, yo, dude, just break up with her. You actually wouldn't have been embarrassed if you hadn't say anything. No one would have known she was cheating. She was sexing and she was still cheating, but she at least wasn't fucking him. That's the only good thing, which she was still wrong. No one would have known that she was sexing an older guy behind your back had you not said anything. And why couldn't he talk to her and broke up her like a normal person? Because this town is fucked up. Salem needs to go somewhere.
This town, like I told Shanique, is full of terrorists, but we will get to that in a bit.
Right.
In my opinion, anyways.
No,
they terrorists. At least the way the movie sets it up to, yo. They're damn near militant organization who are somehow calling themselves good people at the top of their lungs.
Right. And then after that happened, she starts freaking out because here's another scene that like got me pissed. She goes home. Well,
got you pissed?
Yeah, the scene with her mom and that shit.
Oh, I thought you talking about the guy who chased her down for a little bit. Oh, that's after.
No, that's both.
After she got kicked out.
Oh yeah. So she goes home and her parents are like, I'm thinking her mom's gonna whoop the shit out of her. No, her mom literally drags her out the house. And what would you do if this happened with your daughter? What would you do?
I mean, I can't kick her out right now because at least because I know how dangerous that fucking town is. But you know what? I gotta protect my daughter regardless. Like, hey, you did something really fucking dumb. We probably gotta go outside the state for a little bit and wait till the dust settles and come back when you're an adult.
No, I ain't coming back to this.
Probably. You're right. I don't know. I don't have a daughter right now, so I can't tell you what I would do. I have no experience with kids or teenagers for that matter.
Okay.
Other than being one. However, the last thing I'm going to do is what they did because your daughter's already been exposed on the internet and now you're trying to leave her alone in public. That's a little irresponsible to me. Don't get me wrong. I feel like that's going to be like a realistic punishment for a lot of parents. So I can't really argue that they're wrong, but that's just not what I would do personally.
What would your mom do if it was like your sister?
Oh, she would have got her ass beat. Woo, that would have been the most unholy of ass whoopings. Oh, Lord of mercy. You wouldn't even recognize her no more. Her ass had been whooped so bad. Oh, she'd be in the basement. She'd be in the basement for a little bit.
Yeah, that ass whooping would have been amazing.
Oh, yeah, that would have been on biblical proportions.
But, yeah, I was just curious what would happen. But I figured it would have been left. Would your dad have done anything, or would your dad have been like...
My dad would have been laying it down. What?
They would take turns. They'd be like, all right, I got this.
We were talking about this when we were playing WWE 2K18. Like, you would have got your ass beat so much, I start sweating. Like, I got tired. You're in pain? I'm tired of beating your ass. I think I feel.
All the syllables. All the fucking syllables.
For real.
So, yeah, they drag her out the house, and they lock her out. Then she's walking home. And douchebag central.
Oh, yeah.
And he basically catcalling her, but he's calling her a slut and filming her. And I'm like, yo, this town's already done. Get the fuck out of this town. This is bullshit.
And he's probably an adult, too, riding around with his friend, just, like, doing this weird shit. Don't get me... I wish she was... Lord of mercy. Man, high schoolers, they wear some really fucking short shorts. Well, in this movie,
you saw
anyways.
Butt cheek.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't kick my... If I'm going to kick my daughter out of the house, it's going to take a lot. But bet money I'm giving her some pants. Like, I'm not kicking my daughter out in no fucking, like, damn near coochie cutters and shit. Like, nah, you better get that shit out of here.
Yeah, but he was dumb. And
he got what's coming, though.
Yeah, he did. He fucking rapist, abusive piece of
weird,
shit.
Like...
He, like, chased this girl, And then she was like, all right, well, Lily was like, you know what? I'm about to be about this life right now. Bong!
Let me introduce you to the shovel real quick.
Yo, that actually, it sounds a lot louder than it does in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, this movie did a good job trying to jump scare me, but don't get me wrong, I feel like they were really good like flashes of action right there, because they made it very gory.
Yeah.
And like you see this dude, like his eyes are open and he's still conscious, but his body is laid the fuck out. Like he is not moving right now. He's choking on his blood.
Yeah, she fucked up his face. He
like
probably
his nose is done.
That poor kid that saw that.
I mean, he probably lived, to be honest. He probably survived that, but he gonna be having a scar.
Yeah, that kid though, with that big ass frog.
That was a big fucking frog or a toad or some shit. I don't know.
But I was just like, he deserved that. I didn't feel an ounce of guilt or sorry for him. Then, basically, all throughout the movie, the FBI and the cops are trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. They find this one dude. He's like laughing about it. He's like, I'm just a follower, but I'm not the one doing it. Which he was telling the truth. And basically, there comes a point in the movie where the town gets pissed. They're like, you know what? Y'all niggas ain't doing shit. All that stuff is getting exposed.
Well, but before we get to that, this is, a conglomerate, a collection of people who are also being exposed. Like they had like a very short, like little collection of clips,
where
people were like getting jumped in parking lots in front of schools by both high schoolers,
Nancy
adults.
Her ass whooped because she was messing with some man.
Right, it happened to adults and stuff like that. And like it essentially insinuated that people started wearing masks because they couldn't show their faces in public no more because they had their shit exposed. So this hacker is going to work, and people started like getting together, like, yo, police ain't protecting us no more. They're putting all of our private information out there. Like all these I forget which amendment this is, but pretty much the amendment that protects privacy is not being upheld in this town. So we're gonna take it into our own hands. And this is where my opinion comes in, that this town is full of terrorists. Don't get me wrong. I feel like their emotions are in the right place and understandable. However, the execution of how they want to go about remedying this problem is a little bit on the what the fuck side, because they're straight up armed to the teeth. Don't get me started on this babysitters. We'll get there, because everyone's armed like they're the fucking Punisher from Marvel. So I don't know how the fuck.
Yeah, Punisher mixed with Jason mixed with niggas from the Purge.
Right. Wow, that really sums it up actually.
So, and I was just like watching this, and I'm like, okay, there's a riot going. They said, yo, we gonna get this motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. They catch that dude who was talking all that
Police,
shit. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you did it? So we gonna fuck you up, blah, blah, blah. He lies and said it's Lily.
Well, he thinks he's telling the truth now that we know what he actually thought. He had no basis to actually prove it, which they did not give a shit about. They just wanted a name. They just wanted someone to be mad at.
And you know what? If they actually thought about it, this leak didn't benefit her.
Yeah, exactly.
So why
would I leak my own shit?
Yeah, why would I leak the dude that I'm like sexing or whatever, right, and potentially get caught by my boyfriend, who then proceeds to basically abuse the shit out of me, embarrass the hell out of me, and then I get thrown out my fucking house.
Right.
But I leaked the shit.
All part of my master plan, right? Like,
and the way she was crying, it didn't make no damn sense. Right. Like, nothing good came out of it.
Like, if anybody knew her, they'd know that she's not, like, crazy. I mean, she did have this one spot in the movie where she found where IP address was coming from. But, it was fake. It was, like, getting bounced from Russia. However, it's not like she was so proficient that she would know how to, like, hack people's information. Like, that wasn't a big part of the movie to, like, figure out, like, a method of how to do it. They just said, hey, shit got hacked. They didn't say how. But no one ever questioned the fact that, hey, how much does she even know about computers? Like, she's all of 18-year-old in high school. Yeah, she's pretty smart, but is she, like, a hacktivist? Like, is she on the computer, like, just robbing banks and doing Ponzi schemes and shit? Like, what's going on here?
So, like, they should have did someone who, like, got their shit exposed, but, like, wasn't mad or it didn't
someone
really,
calm, right?
Yeah,
who's not being affected.
But they didn't, and I'm like, dumbness. So they basically go ape shit, and they attack Lily, who's staying at M's house. So it's M, Beck, Lily, and that fourth girl who I really can't remember her name. Who I think in real life is Lily. Is named Lily. But they attack that house, and the movie just goes left upon left a pawn left.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite scene at this point?
We didn't talk about it before we actually get into it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh, your favorite scene like the ending?
Well, yeah, pretty much like that. The climax of the movie, pretty much, because like they had a kind of a foreshadowing with a certain scene from Battle Royale, where everyone was in like the red coat, and they're even dressed up in it just for like the watching the movie, which is really cute. Some slumber party idea, but whatever. But yeah, that was a pretty cool little foreshadowing for what was going to happen next. And there's a couple things that happened between after she got to Nance's house and that scene, which is pretty much the climax of the movie.
Yeah. Okay, so here's who was pissing me off. I'm going to tell you.
Babysitter.
The babysitter, he had the audacity to actually think that she did it when she didn't even benefit from it. And if you know her the way you did, you would know better. And he was acting all cool and shit. And also, why would anyone listen to him knowing what he was doing?
You know what's crazy is at the little rally that they were having, he was the one who was talking because that was his mask, the little mask with
he was talking all that yin yang, and then he was doing that shit. Then the fucking cop, that fat ass cop, he pissed me off too.
Oh yeah,
he was like, "Oh, we're good people." I'm like, really? Y'all out here killing people? Now I have a question. Before we'll talk about the twist and everything. The fight with the babysitter and Lily was rapey as shit. That was also a trigger warning. Rape. Attempted.
Yeah.
So, even after he did all that, even after he thinks that she exposed him, he still wants to have sex with her. I'm like, you really thinking with your dick right now?
This guy went back to the drawing board, like where he started from, like, all right, initially I wanted to have sex with you, and I still kind of want to have sex with you, even though I just lost my wife and kid. So,
lost.
Yeah, well, yeah, air quotes on that one.
Yeah. Someone got. I don't know who got, but someone did. But, like, that fat cop irritated me. That stupid jock irritated me. Diamond came in and actually was the only one who stood up to everyone. Thank you, Diamond. Thank you, motherfucking Diamond.
Well, okay, see, I'm missing the name, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah.
The Latino one.
When he was going to hang Bex. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know my favorite character in the movie? Bex. Then is Lily.
Lily's my favorite, but only certain aspects of her. I already got it off my chest, but yeah, she's my favorite character.
Yeah, he don't like the whole part.
No, not the whole part. Just the whole idea that
H-O. Ho. And then part.
I'm sorry?
You don't like the whole part of her.
No, not the whole part of her. No, the part I talked about earlier. Where it's like you're messing around with a dude while like consciously defending the whole like privacy thing for people who got hacked. Like it's going on right in front of your face to like 3 other people, and then you still continue to take news, even like immediately after the talk.
Well, you know she's a stupid teenager. That's the point.
Well, that's one of her aspects I gotta count against her. That's how I feel about that.
You basically got to count that against everyone in this movie.
Well, yeah, I do count against everyone. I only give her a little bit of a nod because at least she's like, at least intelligent with her argument.
Okay, that's true. I'll give you that. But yeah, Bex. The reason Bex is my favorite character because she's the most honest. She's probably the most innocent in the movie, if you think about it. She was understanding. She had the most adversity, but she was true to herself. She was a really good character to me. And then there's Lily. And Lily's pretty good too, but since she's your favorite, why is she your favorite?
I already got through all that.
Okay. Lily, to me, was very intelligent. She was smart sometimes. Mm-hmm. Let's put that sometimes in there.
Big old disclaimer.
She was smarter than everyone else in this town. And she was a fighter. And I don't know what the fuck she's going to do after this. Because, like, I have a couple questions, but I kind of want to skip to the twist only because I need some questions. I want to see if Michael can answer my questions.
I definitely won't be able to answer them, but I'll go ahead anyway.
So, the twist is, after the riot and everything's over, they find out who did it. And it was Lily's little brother. And why did he do it, Michael?
For the lulz. I said, I don't know. For the lulz. That is probably one of the best endings and like explanations for like I'm gonna go ahead and call him an antagonist. I'm gonna go ahead and call him an antagonist for this movie. That's the best like I don't. Oh my god, what am I trying to say here? Like it's like sarcastic in a way. Like he just did not give a shit. Like he had no deeper reason behind it other than I could use a good joke right now.
He fucked up everyone. The mayor killed himself. Principal Terrell lost his job. The other nigga lost his wife permanently. And
wow, what a place to laugh. Wow, good job.
Hey, I gotta laugh at my own joke. Shit. You know, hey, this is a dark fucking movie. Assassination Nation. Check it out. But his sister got attacked. Everyone was getting their ass beat. The bitch got her head like bashed in. People lost their lives and shit, and he did it for shits and gigs.
Yep, for the gigs.
Literally.
Like this dude.
And there was no other reason.
It was so funny because like, they just got done telling him like, yo, death penalty is not the death penalty. Life in prison penalty is about to happen. Like you're a digital terrorist. You technically committed indirect manslaughter or homicide in this case, really, when you think about it. A bunch of other shit. Like, you know, invasion of privacy and like a long list of shit that he did from his computer. And get this, guys, he's only in like 2 scenes in this movie before this where he said maybe 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah, but like, here's my thing. Can he get charged with murder?
I
don't think that's true. I think he can get charged with maybe
involuntary manslaughter, maybe.
I don't even think
or inciting violence, I'd say.
I would say that.
Yeah.
But the murder stuff, like, that's another thing. These niggas killed people. Are we just gonna magically, like, put a blindfold and be like...
because he did something right.
None of these niggas were dead? We just gonna act like we didn't kill all these people?
Like, we didn't just break into a house and kill that girl's mom just to get to the daughters. Like, that... See, this aspect of the movie right here, I was telling Shanique, like... I see what they were going for, but why go straight for murder to like the innocent parties? Because this is the girl's mom, and kudos to her for being strapped as a motherfucker. Because she was over here capping motherfuckers before.
Yeah, because they broke into her house.
Yeah, I get that. I was there. I watched that movie, but I was just like, you know, kudos to her because like she came off to me as kind of like a druggie almost. Like she was here smoking. I don't know what she was smoking, but she was like real slow, pretty much. And then, but she like, you know, caught a whiff of what was going on. She was like, yo. Get cash. I think she took down maybe like 2 or 3 people before she ended up getting shot. And man, I feel that's where my opinion of that scene kind of flipped because I'm like, y'all came in here for like this weird home invasion thing to kill, not to make an example of someone in the way that you said, like, you know, would have made more sense instead of just like straight up murdering people old school style, like we in the dark ages.
Right, and here's another thing. They didn't even have to kill the mom. They could have knocked her ass out or something. And
she had a gun at that point. So I get where they were coming from, but either way, that was their plan.
They could have shot her in the leg. They could have did a lot of things.
I feel like no matter who they saw, they were going to shoot him too. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then when they finally get the girl, they just put him in the back of the car and say, "Oh, we're going to take you to FBI."
Right.
I'm like, nigga, you just killed my.
So you killed my mom, but you couldn't throw her in the car too, like.
And also, like, here's the thing: these are still teenage girls, right? So, what did y'all think was going to happen? Y'all going to take them to FBI and they're not going to be like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
Because you all did this by yourself.
Right. Like, I got 3 dead bodies in my house now with bullets in them and they got guns on them and shit. And I definitely got proof that y'all strung up one of my daughters by her hands and have her screaming her life out.
Now, everyone in this town, I guess, got the murder pass because Lily should be going to jail. M should be going to jail.
To be fair,
should be going to jail.
She definitely did kill like a cop. She definitely did. No, the black girl definitely did kill another guy who's hiding behind the tire. And she definitely used a samurai sword and cut one guy down too. I forgot about. She would have straight up Deadpool on that motherfucker. I feel bad for him. And like they just started. The dudes who were hiding behind that pickup truck, they were just getting capped left and right. Movies somehow make people look so dumb. Like I'm gonna run into the open with a handgun while y'all are armed to the teeth.
You know they're trying to do that action movie scene where you can run across and then dive and shoot. No, that don't work in real life.
Bullet. You ain't about to outrun these bullets.
Oh, are we getting a concert? Oh, okay. I didn't know what was happening.
You made it weird.
You made it weird. But I was just like, that's so dumb. Like, what the fuck are you doing right now?
A lot of people gotta go to jail. Honestly,
I think they get a murder pass.
Innocent part. Well, I think so, but I don't know.
I think they're gonna pin everything on that boy.
Yeah, I think so. But then you still gotta ask the question. I forgot to even bring this back up. The babysitter, Mr. Mathers or Daddy, whatever. I'm not calling him Daddy. Mathers.
Daddy.
He had like the Punisher stockpile in his house. This man had guns and bullets laid out.
Yes.
And apparently so did the rest of the neighborhood. Like, you know what I just realized this was? It's in Salem. This was literally a Salem witch trial.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that was on purpose, but I'm just catching on to that. And yeah, that was really what it was. Like, I don't care how innocent you are. If I think you're a witch, you about to die. That's the Salem witch trials. I just realized this shit. Oh my god. Revolutionary. Anyways, but yeah. But yeah.
I'm assuming everyone gets a pass. Because the cop...
everybody a pass.
I know, but it seemed like the way the movie's like, oh, your sister almost died. And like, fuck her parents too. Because, you know, at least they weren't out in the street killing too. But like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, they ain't go purging.
Yeah, they ain't go purging, but like, fuck them and all that bullshit. Because like, I understand M killing them because you killed my mother. You broke into my house and killed my mother for shit that we didn't even do. That's the worst part. We didn't even do it. And like, also, if the shit came from her house, you don't check everyone in the house. You just, whatever. Fuck. I'm not even gonna go there because that little piece of shit, he annoys me.
He did it for the lulz, man. For the lulz. I can't even make this up for you. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic, guys. LZ lulz. He did this shit for the shits and gigs and the lulz.
He did it to say, hey, I'm bored. I want to laugh, so I'm going to expose all y'all niggas.
You know what's crazy? Some hackers, that's literally how they think. Like, they're like, I have no objective other than boredom, and I just need some entertainment.
But he
and it's like, people shot themselves, like,
in the face.
Like, it went through their skulls into the cameras that we were watching through. Like, a principal, like, I think he even tried to fight for his job. He's like, I'm not stepping down. And, like, I think that's where a lot of the rioting even started, too. Like, they started calling him a pedophile first. Then they realized everybody got hacked, and they were like, all right. Let's slow down here. We should be mad at the pedophile. We should be more mad at the, air quotes, pedophile.
He wasn't even a pedophile.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm just saying that because that's how they saw him. Yeah. We should be mad at the person who we think is guilty. Like, we just gonna, string up this kid, waterboard him, and take whatever name he gives us. And mind you, by the way, they assumed her because she was uploading pictures, a lot of pictures for Mathers, for the babysitter.
Daddy.
Whatever. Anyways, the guy realized that she had a lot of upload traffic, and we're like, well, that's the best we got to work with right now. So I'm wondering, why, if you were monitoring all that, how comes you ain't see what was going on with the little brother, whose name I don't even know in this movie? Does he have a name in this movie? Right. Look at Shanice's face.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. And hell, I can't even remember the fourth girl. I know she had a name because I remember Lily saying all their names.
I know it came up in one of the text spots on the screen when they were asking if someone was in the house. Bex, M, Lily.
There's a third girl.
And I know the fifth one was the one they was making like Star Wars jokes about.
Yeah, but she's not really a part of her.
I know, yeah.
She's the one with the bat.
Yeah, she was dope. Yeah, she went straight up home run on that bitch.
She was like, oh, you want to share my pet?
Shanice said bat a bitch.
Yeah. But, yeah, everyone should be going to jail. That cop shouldn't be no cop no more.
Well, he's not.
Well, yeah. But, like, all of them should be, like, dead. Completely.
Yeah.
And all of them shouldn't even be mad because guess what? All y'all were doing dirt, too.
Yep.
Had y'all just kept moving on with your lives, this shit actually would have blown over. But y'all want to riot. So yes, you're all terrorists. Every last one of you should be going to jail. Instead, no. Wake up the next day. I'm going to face you the next day. If I was M, I would want to kill all y'all anyway.
Like, remember that time y'all tried to hang my best friend from a pickup truck over a lamppost? Yeah, good times, right? Well, see you in bio. Like, what?
Remember that time you broke into my house and killed my mother?
Yeah, right.
Whole place?
Right.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, remember, because I remember it. I'm pretty sure I nail gunned a guy in her pool, so,
Like, what the fuck? No.
That guy caught the nail,
we not friends no more. I'm not, like,
I'm not sitting in the same room as you. I'm not trying to be in the same area code as you. If I see you, it's hands. Hands. HANDZ, hands.
With the Z. Emphasis on the Z.
Hands.
Ugh. But, like, no, like, this whole thing, I know it's a satire talking about how internet's ruined everything, yada, yada, but,
and it's essentially,
it's a fun movie.
It's a movie about, like, the assassination of someone's character, and that this is how this nation's kind of working right now in the shadows, but it's whatever. Like, they were definitely talking about, like, some guy who, like, some kid who used, like a jailbroken iPhone to take control of, like, a Megatron or some high school game or some shit like that. And, since we're at the end of the movie here, there was also like a weird credit scene.
The marching band?
Yeah, I don't really get the message behind that. It was cool to look at.
Like, she was hitting them. She was like,
yeah, she was twirling her life out.
She was like, yeah, I'm gonna twirl these batons.
Right. I don't get the messages that was there, but I feel like maybe someone else does. Feel free to let Michael know. Sometimes I'm very uncultured. Educate me.
Yeah, but closing remarks. This movie is fucking crazy. I can describe this movie in a couple words: entertaining, batshit, rewatchable. Cause I'll watch that shit any day, and very, oddly educational. You?
Catches you off guard. I'd say go see it too. Actually, I'd actually really recommend seeing this movie.
Yeah.
I'd be wary of the trigger warnings, like they said though. I wasn't there for the warning, but Shanique just told me. But yeah, I'd be wary of those, and just take everything in this movie with a grain of salt. Like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, they have freaking high schoolers with guns and like they look like Rambo and Deadpool and all this shit. But it was pretty dope.
Alright, so hit us up on Twitter at You Podcast. Let us know if you agree with us on this, and also share this video. And then you can find us on any app on your phone or any social media at
Podcasting app, particularly.
Yes.
She said any app. Like, yeah, go on Google. My Google app, sure. Probably
find us on actually, yeah. Any podcasting apps, any social media, all under Echo Underground Podcast, and we will see you guys next episode. Bye.
See ya.